Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon we've had 4 very interesting presentations. To recap, we had Dr. Mukhopadhyay, who spoke about absorption of metal ions from industrial effluents by natural fibers. We have had an overview of the research findings on fiber structure in relation to Egyptian cottons from Dr. Abdel Salam. We have had a detailed presentation by Dr. Bhakti Hindi on the market behavior of cottons in the international cotton trade market. And finally, the last presentation, which is just ended by Dr. Rafani. We have a few minutes. If there are any questions on any of these 4 topics, the floor is open. Yes, Mr.
Chair. May I ask Samir, please, that do you think that your findings, to some extent, could be the contributory factors why linen has been used for 5,000 years, and you can see when you go to the Egyptian museum, fantastic benefits?
Yeah,
rather than hemp and...
Could I just repeat the question for the benefit of the audience? The question is it possible that linen, is that the reason why linen has been used by people for the last 5,000 years? Is that your question?
Right, yes. As opposed to use it and hemp.
I think I can't agree more with you, because I think I went to the museum yesterday and I was looking so many years ago the flax fibers linen fabrics made, and still the structure is retained, and that's one thing I was trying to mention today because of the limitations of the time. I didn't mention that it's not just the sorption but also the structure. If you want to try to remove something, it has to be biodegradable, but during the time of some kind of a filtration, the structure should be retained and there should be resistance to a hostile atmosphere like alkali, acids. And the linen has got such a balanced set of properties, and we can successfully use it. And I think one thing I just felt with yesterday, that we are learning again and again from the old civilizations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
With every waste that you clean, you create another waste. What do you propose to do with the bast fibre once it's got the metal ions in there?
I'll repeat the question for the benefit of the audience. The question is, what do you do with the metal ions once they're in the fibre? Am I right, sir?
Yeah, what do you do with the fibre?
What do you do with the fibre?
Well, I think it is like chemical filter, so you have to really destroy it. But I think your point is very, very good, because it contains heavy metal in the ionic form. And I think that what we haven't done yet, they come up with some sort of cheap chemical treatments where these ions can be neutralized and then we can destroy. So it's not directly going back to the environment. And I haven't come to that stage yet, because that's a long way to go.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Van de Weinberg, I was curious as to, in your flax composites, if you tracked what varieties of flax that you used, and whether or not...
Is it on mic?
Please, can you speak into the mic? I'm sorry. I was curious as to whether you tracked what varieties of flax that you used, and what varieties there were that gave you better results, or did you not focus on the individual breeds of the flax fiber?
No, in the project we just investigated one type of flax. It was an Ariane variety. Of course, you have different kinds of flax. We had to choose one who was growing good in the Flemish field, so we choose Ariane.
Thank you very much.
Could I ask Dr. Weinberg a question, please? Mr. Chairman.
Please, in the mic.
Surely a lot, sorry. my voice is loud naturally. Surely a lot of research work has been done in the past before they chose an inert fiber like glass to form composites. Can you give me your reasons for choosing these natural fibers, please? Or is it for commercial reasons you want to explore flax for other end users? Thank you.
For me personally, it was my personal interest in natural fibers, but the project, it was mainly due to the Flemish industry. Flax industry was looking for some new markets, and also composite industry was interested in using those very low density fibers for composite applications, also because they are not as expensive as, for example, carbon fibers. But yeah, of course you have to take into account that the more you process the flax fibers, the more expensive they get. But in general they are cheap. So.
Yes, sir.
Is there a chemical reaction between flax and polypropylene, for example, or to get the composite?
Sorry, could you repeat that question?
Is there chemical reaction between flax and polypropylene? You get it?
In fact, if you don't, if you just have normal flax without any treatments and you have normal polypropylene without any treatments, the reaction will be very, very bad, because you work with a hydrophilic fiber and you have a very hydrophobic polymer. Now you can treat the polypropylene, you can have maleic anhydride polypropylene, but in this case we just use pure fiber and pure matrix. Is that an answer?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Abdel Salam, I have a question. As you know, I've read your book and I enjoy it every time I do. Do you have any comparisons between the Egyptian ELS varieties and the varieties that are coming out of South America right now?
Yes, I think I wrote a chapter in the book about the comparison between Egyptian Textile and non-stable cottons and Pima cottons. Generally, we can say that extra non-stable Egyptian cottons are about 5 to 10% better in quality than Pima. On the other side, non-stable are of lower quality, about 5 or 10%. And the point here, we have two classes of non-stables. So we have to clarify this point. We have the non-stable varieties of the Delta, which is Visa 85 and Visa 89, especially Visa 89 and Visa 86, and those of Upper Egypt, Visa 80 and 83. Non-stable of Lower Egypt are much closer to medium to non-stable cottons rather than to non-stable. They are, somewhat lower quality than non-stable cottons of the Delta.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Salam. Any further questions? Yes,
Dr. von Weinberg, did you notice any problems with resin inclusions in your knitted structure?
You mean resin-rich areas or something?
Yes.
No.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My takeaway from this session this afternoon is that if you want to learn something about cotton, come to Egypt. If you want to learn something about linen, go to Belgium. And if you want to learn something about chemicals and cotton, then go to Leeds University. With this, I thank our speakers on your behalf and thank you for your attention and for your questions. And I declare it.